Once you've chosen a renegade mindset, with thanks to Amy Dunn's quote, in this post-apocalyptic world, you have a choice: survive as a slave or fight for your freedom. I'm making a broader assertion. The choice is either to survive in some subordinate form to an external cultural narrative, or fighting for the expression of your soul, and its freedom is the precursing prologue to any apocalypse in whatever abstract iteration that you may seek to conceive it. It starts from a willingness to question the particular nuances of the presumed consensual narrative that's passed along, whether informally within your personal social circle or given as a didactic dictate through the vector of institutional authority. Such narratives are given the validity of credibility you've defaulted to the sources, thus allowing the emotional as well as mental subordination to that signaled precept. With the questioning comes the associated analysis of the presumptive narrative. The inconsistencies found in the narrative that present paradoxical concluding scenarios require a mental untangling of these twines of thought that were taken as quasi-sacred cows by you, as part of your worldview's architecture. For the sake of your own due diligence of conscientiousness, you begin the deconstruction of that narrative's dialectic so that it becomes somewhat coherent to your understanding in relation to your own admittedly limited knowledge base. In doing the deconstruction with a concurrent reconstruction, you initiate at first the objective fault line rips from your former way of perceiving the matter. The nuances and contrasts of differences in the fault line gaps, when revealed incidentally or on purpose to others, starts the separation of the former homogeneous and cohesive bonds of self-identification with the social milieus of those presumptions. Then you learn it's more than the circumstantial happenstance of your proximal locale and the characters who comprise the fabric of that perception you now find wanting in its validity and applicability. It is the ubiquitous similarity that the now questioned and deconstruction thought is held elsewhere by others in their own social versions. The excessiveness of a similar ubiquity presents for you both the mental and the emotional challenge to your practical existence. Can you exist in a collegial, more than transactional interaction with those who hold ideas with feelings that might as well be tectonic plates bumping in friction against your tectonic plate that would have a spectrum of eruptions between you and them? For the sake of an emotional continuity with the people and feelings of those former perceptions, you will and do make the effort to have a cohesive, at best, and a gracious transactional interaction otherwise. But the imperatives of logic will make the fault lines more pronounced between the relative Frankenstein operations between you and others that have more adversarial and irreconcilable interests that make up the friction and separation of contending tectonic thought. You, being the minority of one, must come to grips with your marginal, tolerated, if at all, ways. Is the integrity of your iconoclasm worth the estrangement? Are the tangible and intangible trappings that you've chosen as your identity worth of social detachment and estrangement from what is only a hollow symbol of your past sentiments? It will involve what defines you as a liberated person, of your feelings, of your own self-determination, or being a subordinate emotional slave underling to the feelings of others. For that circumstance, I'll offer this quote from the Bhagavad Gita Chapter 18, verse 47. It is better to do one's own dharma, even though humble and imperfect, than to do another's dharma, even if it's more acknowledged.